Hello, everybody, and welcome to Absolutely Obscure with Josh and Rory. I'm Rory.
I'm Josh.
This is a podcast where we watch movies you've never heard of and we talk about them.
Yep.
This week we are talking about In a Shallow Grave. Such a cool title. Has to be a really kick-ass movie,
It's
right?
like horror movie, here we come, you know?
This was released in 1988. It's from director Kenneth Bowser. It has a 5.8 on IMDb with 283 votes, and 77 people have rated this or seen this on Letterboxd. Now, what did you think of In a Shallow Grave, Josh?
It was interesting.
There is so much about this that could have been like a really cool movie.
Yeah.
If I think that this is one of those ones that I honestly think could be remade, and if they decide to make it more of like a thriller or a psychological thriller of some sort, this could really work. As it is, fuck, this movie is boring.
It was very boring, and it was like... It very much felt just like a TV movie from the 80s.
TV movie from the 80s.
Like someone made it, and maybe that's why it's so like inoffensive or like just middle of the road. Like,
yeah.
Because I was kind of shocked at the cast.
Yes, for the cast, we have Michael Biehn. Great. Especially like this was the same year or 2 years after Aliens.
I was shocked when I saw it. It's like, this is after all is good, like the ones I know him for.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But probably when he was also in the throes of alcoholism. So, that might explain
We all
things.
have our things.
Yes, listen, if I could, I would. Then we also had Michael Beach as Quintus.
Yeah.
Who is not a name people might recognize.
Right, the face for sure, though.
He's in everything.
If I was a big fan of Third Watch.
Oh, I love Third Watch.
He was Doc.
He was Doc on
was
Third
great.
Watch.
Yeah,
Everyone knows Doc from Third Watch.
He had a big role in, big recurring role in Sons of Anarchy as well. He was a leader of a different motorcycle gang.
See, that'd be fun to see because he always plays kind of like a general nice guy a lot of times.
He was good in it.
I've seen him on he does lots of one-off TV show appearances, like one episode of Criminal Minds, one episode of Law and Order. That's the kind of career
playing
he's
like
built.
a guy in charge of like a district or something. Yeah.
He's pretty, but he's young here. And then we have, I'm pretty sure in maybe his first movie role.
Yeah, that's
a
another
very young Patrick Dempsey.
Young hot Patrick Dempsey.
Young twink Patrick Dempsey. Goddamn, he's sexy as hell in this movie.
You know what? I feel like I'm so annoyed with Grey's Anatomy just because hearing about it, and I only saw his death scene and was like, that's stupid. So I
didn't know he died in Grey's Anatomy. You ruined it for me.
I don't care. It sucks.
It's only been 20 years. Give me time to catch up.
So I feel like I'm in that, with that cloud, I've been like, I don't see what everyone likes about Patrick Dempsey. This movie, I was like, okay, I get it. I get it.
If you also want to get it, go watch. If you want to get it with modern day Patrick Dempsey, go watch Ferrari. The Michael Mann movie. He's a silver fox in it.
Nice.
God damn. But yeah, he's very young here, and he basically is the temptation of everyone in this movie.
Yes, that's a great way to put it.
Everyone wants to fuck Patrick Dempsey. Everyone's wanted to fuck Patrick Dempsey his entire career. That's what he's been.
I feel like they just saw Patrick Dempsey and were like, let's make a movie where everyone wants to fuck this kid. Yeah.
This is one sexy child. That's what
he is probably 20 something in it, right? Is he?
I hope
so.
He plays like 18. He looks really young.
Yeah.
I will say. But he's probably 20
What's
something.
the other? Have we done any movies this old? I'm trying to
88. I think this might be our oldest one so far. Because our cutoff is 1980, just because anything older than that, I feel like it's generally
just shit.
Well, it's not only is it just shit, but I think that it's harder for people
to know about those
ones, especially the 80s. There's so many cult movies from the 80s that everyone knows about still. The 70s don't have as many cult films, or I'd say. So I think this might be our oldest one yet. Fans, confirm for us. Confirm for us.
Yes, our fan would be.
Yes, our one fan. Hi, Cody. So, In a Shallow Grave, we start. It's a war movie. It's World War I, I believe.
Yeah.
And we see.
He's in Stalingrad, I think it even says.
Yes. Yeah. Which is that World War I or World War II?
I think one. I'm trying to remember the timeline now because I feel like it was because I think the reason I thought about one was I'm pretty sure it was around 1917, which I was like, I know
yes.
that other movie.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah. Because, I mean, I guess there probably were battles of Stalingrad in World War II, too, right?
I don't know. Listen, if you want me to remember a war fact, you have to put it in the title of the movie.
That's true. And you haven't seen the movie Stalingrad yet.
No, I haven't. I didn't, but that's another one I know about. I'm like, I know that one, too.
So we see our lead character, Garrett. He is in Garnet, sorry. He's a soldier in World War One. We'll go with World War One.
Yeah.
That's most likely.
They're in a foxhole.
Yeah, they're in a foxhole, getting shelled, getting stuff, and somebody steps over the foxhole and starts shooting down with a flamethrower.
Yeah, and right before that, he's like pulls out his pocket watch. He's got a pocket watch of his
which you can't do. You're gonna get killed.
Well, it's funny because I was trying because he was like he has his pocket watch and he like shows the guy beside him like, hey, look at my girl back home, and the guy's face is like, are you mental? Like, what are you doing? And they're immediately
right now. Do you want us to get murdered? Because that's how you're gonna get us murdered.
Yeah,
and they did.
But pretty an intense like war scene at the very start.
Yeah, very intense war scene. Yeah. We can see where all of the budget for this movie went within the first 2 minutes, and now it's gone. Yes. Now it's gone forever.
It's gonna be fields and farmhouses for the rest of the movie. And and so like there's a full-on just battle going out, and one guy has the flamethrower with the pack on his back, and then someone shoots that.
Yes.
Right? And did you say this? He ran he just blasts the whole battalion.
Yeah. Was it friendly fire then?
It could have been because he got shot.
Yes, he got shot,
and I think he even fell on it, so it was like kind of like the trigger just went off.
Yeah. And now we cut to we're back in Midwest America. I don't think
I was going to say, I don't even know if they say the town.
I don't believe we get a location. I think it's supposed to be just kind of like every town, America. And we see Quintus.
Oh, I have it here. Virginia.
Oh, Virginia.
Yeah, a year later.
Yes. We should be clear. We both watched this movie far too long ago. And it is not worth remembering.
Very forgettable.
Yeah. Sorry, my dad died and we had to reschedule the record, Josh.
Yeah, that's all right. I forgive you.
This time. So we're in Virginia and we see Quintus, who is Michael Beach, and he is building a fence. That's what he's doing. Next scene.
It's kind of intense. Like he's just doing that. We don't know him yet, and this guy feed
deliverer shows up and asks him to start unloading stuff, and they start talking like a little shyly. It becomes apparent that the townsfolk don't like coming to this place, are very uncomfortable coming to this farm.
He's very been isolated, and everyone, people were rude back in the day.
Oh, God, yes.
If you looked slightly different, good luck getting eye contact from anybody.
Yes. So it's basically Quintus works for Garnet.
Yeah.
And he's the only one who's willing to able to do that because Garnet is so hideous to everyone else in his life that they're just like, I can't look at that fucking
poor war veteran who got burned.
Yes,
and everyone's just like, oh my God,
he
look at the sight of you. I can't believe he's staying at home all the time by himself, and people are like, that's too much.
So the feed guy's just like, I don't know how you do it, man. This is how much they hated people with disfigurements is in 1918 Virginia. They were like, I can relate with this black man.
Totally. He's like,
I was expecting a hate crime, but they were just like, no, they're very nice to the black man.
No, because he was trying to be like, can you pay for the feed, please? And he's like, no, sorry, you're going to go talk to Garnet. And he's like, I don't want to. Which I think after, I feel like because at this point I was like, oh, he must not trust Quintus with the books, but I feel like Quintus is kind of no, go talk to the guy,
Quintus 100% is just no, he's there.
Yeah.
You guys can go talk to him. He's fine.
Yeah. Which was nice, because I think they even say there's been other people he tried to employ as a farmhand.
And they get scared away. That is the exact quote. They're just they can't handle it. They get scared away from the horror of this man's face. And it's also funny because the feed guy, he specifically says his wife is you have to get the payment. So it's a little implied that he hasn't got the payment for a while because he does
He's
not
avoiding contact.
He's avoiding it so much. So he goes up and he gets the check. I think they just hand it through the door so he doesn't have to look at him.
He goes to the door, and even that there's like a mesh thing, and he's still like, we don't actually see his face yet.
Correct.
We're just like assuming he's pretty disfigured or whatever. But and then I don't know. He gets the feed guy to deliver a letter for him, I believe.
Right. Yes. So that is the crux of this movie. A lot is that Garnet will constantly be sending letters to his love.
Yes.
And he gets various people to deliver them. And so he asks Edgar to deliver this letter, and the guy's just like, God, okay.
You didn't touch it, did you? Like.
And then we finally do see Garnet. He has he got burned everywhere. He's burned everywhere. The makeup in this movie, no, we should admit, we did not watch this on the highest quality video.
I was going to say the low quality helped me because I was like, it could be bad. I don't really know.
It kind of looked like an alien from like the 1990s, The Outer Limits.
Yes.
It was just like...
Very much those vibes.
Yeah.
Like they had a bottom half of a mask and were like, we'll put some glue on your face and
basically. Yeah, it's not the worst, and Michael Biehn does all right. I think does a pretty good job in the role with it, but it's not something. It's not like he's not winning an Oscar for special effects or makeup here. So we see that he takes drugs. He takes drugs for pain, and.
Oh yeah, and also I feel like he's like reading the Bible, classic.
Yes,
classic people.
He reads the Bible, he prays, he takes drugs for pain.
He has the pocket watch is still there too. But yeah, very much a living through pain, so easing it with drugs. Yeah,
and he doesn't really do anything else. We don't see him really leave this house except for very specific occasions that we'll get to. But,
and this is another reason I think Quintus actually said to Edgar, like, "Oh, I'm not allowed in the house." But then after he's gone, he just goes in.
Yeah,
it's clear that he's just free to, like, he's not.
They
like I was worried
with the locals,
right? Yeah, like I was worried. Like I was like, is this like a degrading situation? What? But no, he's very much like they're on each other's level, which is good. He's even. Well, I guess we'll find out later. But like, I felt like he was teaching Quintus to read like pretty well, right?
Yeah.
Because he has a massive book collection.
I think it's basically implied that Quintus is his only friend.
Yes.
Closest thing to a friend they could have.
That he has, yeah.
And I think that Quintus doesn't really see him as a friend. I don't think. I think he has he likes him to a degree.
It's like
but he's very
for him.
much like, this is my job.
Yeah.
I'll do these other things because it will make me better at my job.
Right, because there's even a line, I think, where he's like, oh, you should stay for dinner again, like you did like one time.
Yes.
He's like, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, and he's like, my mom made me food. I'm going to go to my mom's house.
Yeah.
Her skin doesn't fall off into the casserole.
Oh shit!
I'm sorry to anyone watching who.
Listen, you're gonna have to watch the movie to find out if that's a direct quote or not.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
could be in there. And then what? Later that is it the next day that we see.
It's basically the next day.
Yeah.
I want to say the music here implied something that I wish had happened that didn't. The music here is very jovial. It's very fun. I thought that there was going to be an element of magical realism happening here,
interesting.
which I think would really have helped this movie because this is when we get introduced to Patrick Dempsey.
That's right.
Whose character name was Potter, and he's basically a drifter. It was kind of like Grapes of Wrath, where people would just kind of wander from across the lands, being like, hey, looking for work kind of thing.
Yeah.
Legitimately just walk into your house, be like, do you have any work? Can I have work? So Potter shows up, and I thought that this guy there was going to be some sort of magical element with him where he's just like, oh, maybe he's going to like be able to cure him of his ailments of some way, but only like for certain periods of time or something.
Right.
Instead, he just cucks the guy. He just cucks him so hard, and then he makes him want to fuck him himself. Everyone wants to fuck Potter so badly in this movie.
There's something magical about that, if you ask me.
Yeah,
you know?
Actually, looking into Patrick Dempsey's eye, I'm just like, this is magical realism because it's magical and it's real to me.
I like the introduction because he wanders on the property and then you see him like I don't know if he's like a little bit like delirious or whatever, and then because it's kind of held off for a second, he doesn't exactly like see Garnet's face right away, and then he kind of reveals, and he just screams, and then Garnet just punches him out.
Yes,
and
right.
I loved it.
He just winds up and just knocks him right the fuck out.
Yeah, and then like you said, he goes kind of comes to and it's like, oh yeah, I can any jobs you need, and he like he says, you know what, I need someone to like run letters down the road for me. And he's like, okay, I can do that. And
do you know how to read and write? Yeah,
right.
And
he has a guest room for him
yes.
too. And then also, I don't know when it dawned on you. When was the first like element that you were like, are these two guys into each other?
It took me a while. It took me a little bit, but it was definitely there from the beginning.
Right, because in this scene, like he's like kind of like, I think he put like a cold towel. I'm assuming he's constantly in pain, right?
Yeah.
So he like Patrick Dempsey has a towel and like puts it on him, and he's kind of like massages his shoulders a little bit.
Yes.
But he's also trying to convince him like, no, come on, I can do this job for you, right? But I was like, where's this movie going?
I thought maybe it was like a little bit of a snake in the grass thing where he's going to be like a con artist of some sort.
Yeah, then that could be too, right?
There's so many things that could have made this movie good.
Right, yes.
The story interesting, this movie good, and it did none of them.
Well, the main reason I didn't really think it was going there is because it was like 88. I was like, I don't know how many movies they made back then with that like kind of...
were expressly about gay relationship, exactly.
I was hoping.
Yeah. I would love it if they took it even further.
Totally. Yes.
I want Patrick Dempsey to hang dong, and I'm kind of disappointed that it didn't happen here.
I was gonna say this had an opportunity to be like the first real movie about a throuple trying to make it, and that's what I wanted to see happen. You know?
Yeah, because I mean, let's be honest, every throuple does have the ugly guy, so it could be pretty realistic too. Every throuple has one beautiful person, Patrick Dempsey, one hideous person, Michael Biehn, and then just the other person.
The girl that we don't really get to talk to lots.
We barely see.
Like from a distance, that's about it.
Yeah, we see Michael Biehn at various points like wander through the forest to stare at her longingly through a window from the bushes. Very often. Yeah. And I'm just like, here I am relating to a movie character again. I love to yearn from a bush. So he brings him into, I think we get like not a flashback or kind of thing of him doing that before he tells Potter to write a letter. And we see that
he just says like, I will need you to write letters eventually or whatever, because then that night he like has like night terrors of like PTSD, right?
PTSD.
And then he, like you said, this is like, it's night one that he goes and like, you know what, I'm gonna go check on the lady. He goes in from the bushes, just watches her,
just stares at her.
And then it's the next morning. Patrick Dempsey's made this breakfast, and we find out like, oh, he doesn't eat a whole lot, and he's just kind of like, oh, okay.
We get a lot of pan flute in the soundtrack. I don't know if you picked up on that. That was something I was pretty excited about.
That's great. Honestly, when you said the first thing about the soundtrack, I was like, I don't remember any music in this movie at all.
That's fair. Those I think are the only two notes I had about the music where I'm just like, fucking pan flute, baby, and they're implying something that never comes to fruition, and I'm pretty disappointed about it.
But it's this day that he gets like Daventry or whatever, Potter, like you said, to like write this letter. And he seems like he wants, like, this is another, I was so like, what is this relationship? He basically in the letter is like, here's this young hot guy.
Yeah.
Take him if you want.
Yeah.
He's there for you. And Patrick Dempsey's kind of like, I'm sorry, what's happening? But also, like you said, kind of like
a gift boy.
It's the hottest gift boy I've ever seen. Yeah, it was basically, it's so it was almost like he was trying to make sure this girl was well taken care of, I guess.
Yes, basically, I think that he's just like, I want you to be treated well by someone.
Right. Here's this hot guy I found.
I found this hot guy wandering through my fields. I think you might like him, you know.
Which, this is another thing I was thinking. It was like, oh, she's not going to be into this young hot guy immediately. She's like, I love this guy.
Yeah.
Which I don't think we find out from her perspective. Like,
no, we never get from her perspective.
We don't get a lot of this lady in the movie at all.
I will say she's pretty.
She is.
So good for you, Patrick Dempsey, too. But mostly good for lady. When he's writing, he's like dictating what Potter should write, and Potter every once in a while is just like, "This sounds pretty fucking old fashioned and stodgy and shit." And I'm just like, well, I thought like it would be he starts writing what he wants to say on his own, and then there would be some conflict of interest there. But no, that would be a bit too much drama for this movie.
Yeah, because he's basically like, "I'll talk however I want. You write it." He's like, "Okay, fair enough."
Yeah.
And I think Quintus and Potter meet in the field. Mm-hmm. I don't know. They're just kind of like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" Yeah,
we're now running out of plot of this movie to talk about. Welcome to our shortest episode ever. I want this to be longer than Night of the Wolfman, but I don't know if we'll get there.
There's not a lot. Like, he comes back. He's like, "I read the letters,"
and he's like, Michael Biehn's just like, "Nah." Did you fuck her? Come on, it's okay. I offered you to her. And Potter's just like, no, I didn't fuck her. But he definitely did.
I feel that's honestly, I was like, this guy fucked her a lot in this movie, right? Guy, way more than he said he did.
Oh, this guy fucks her every single time it goes over.
Because he says, he's like, why were you there for so long? He's like, I read the letter like 12 times to her, which I'm like, yeah, you did.
Yeah, I've read a lady's letter 12 times. Every single time he's like, you were gone a very long time. And he's like, yeah, it takes me a while to read, I guess. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you, buddy.
And I don't know. Next day we see like a mailman come up, and the only thing like kind of interesting, like what's going on here is like you can tell Daventry's like, oh no, a federal worker.
Yeah.
So he's like trying to hide from him. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, there must be something in his past, I guess, that he's nervous about. And I would have also added here that he's a magical person vibe because he just disappears all of a sudden.
Yes. Yeah. We do get a scene where Garnet wanders to an abandoned music hall that I believe is where he used to take this woman on dates with. And he basically he just goes and he dances on his own.
Yeah, puts some music on.
And dances around this abandoned hall. And it's mournful and sad.
Yeah, and then he goes to the girl's house and he sleeps under the bushes.
Yeah.
He has a very nice big house.
This guy is so horny. This guy's so fucking horny.
And also at this point, like, we haven't really heard her side of the story. Like, I don't even know for a fact that she would have been like, not interested. It's like he took himself out of the equation, it felt like.
So not only do I not know anything from her side of the story, I never knew if she knew that he was back in town.
Right. Totally. It seems like he didn't talk to her once being back.
Like, I was half convinced for most of the movie that like, oh, is he sending her letters because he wants to convince her that he is still out at war? That's something I thought.
That's very funny.
Which, again, would have been a good movie. Or at least would have been some sort of movie. This is not some sort of movie.
And now Garnet, it's funny because even though he clearly wanted them to hook up, now he's like questioning him, like you said, because he's like, nothing's happened. He's like, what are you talking about? Why aren't you in love with this girl?
Yes.
Everyone is in love with this girl. And then he's like, because also the other thing that's been kind of weird is he's like, every time he sees like war stuff around Garnet's house, he's like all like in a weird transfixed by it kind of mood. And he, I think, got called off to war, and everyone made fun of him, and they jumped him and beat the shit out of him. And he's like, and then he took a knife and killed 2 people.
Yes.
So that's his like past story that he's ashamed of.
And that's why he's on the run, just a wanderer. He killed 2 people because he could not be conscripted to war. He was too small, I'm guessing.
I think that's what he said. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he is such a twink in this movie.
He is, and it's funny because Garnet's just like, trying to forget about it.
Yeah, that's literally why he's just like, listen, we all do some fucked up things. Do you think Garnet's penis got burned off? Is that something you considered?
You know what? I didn't think that, but I don't know.
I mean, because he does say that he's sterile. He's sterile. He cannot have kids.
That's right, you did say
which
that.
I think is one of the other things because it's 1918 or whatever, America. Having kids is kind of like a big part of, especially like on a farming community. You want to be with someone you can have kids
Right,
with.
you need staff.
You
so
need
you
staff.
made them.
Yes.
The kids work the fields. Everyone knows
Yeah,
that.
that's why I'm here. R.I.P. Dad.
We need a day laborer.
No, because I'm just like maybe his penis got burned off, and now he's just like, here's my new penis, and it's twink Patrick Dempsey,
Oh man, I wish my penis was Patrick Dempsey. That'd be great.
Mr. McDreamy. Wait, was he Dr. McDreamy?
He was McDreamy. I
Okay,
think,
who
yeah.
was Dr.
McSteamy?
McSteamy? Jesse Williams.
No, I don't think that's his name. He's like a redhead guy, ginger.
Like he
he's
was
one of the voices of like the How to Train Your Dragon people.
Yes, How
I
to
think.
Train Your Dragon. Yeah, no, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
He was
I
in
don't-
the
I can't
Thor
think-
movies.
That could be.
Yeah, he was supposed to be Thor. He was second up for Thor.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Originally.
Yeah. Anyways.
Crazy.
Yeah. We need to find something to talk about here, folks. Because we are now in the last 10 minutes of this movie, basically.
I want to say a very funny part because I think it's Garnett. I think he's like starts getting mad now. He's conflicted about this, and we do get a weird lady coming to visit, and we find out that Garnett owes like back taxes on the land. He could be losing the house.
He's gonna be losing the house. Because he's not what's he farming?
I don't even know.
It's never specified what he does on this farm, if he's making any money at this farm. He has one employee. I feel like he's probably not making money.
Does he farm fences? That's the only thing we've seen worked on.
That's the only thing. We see fences and we seen bags of seeds showed up, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And you might notice that Quintus has kind of disappeared from most of the rest of this narrative because he's just not there anymore.
Yeah. This is my scene I was going to talk about, which I love.
Oh, the window?
Yes, the window's the best. So Garnett and Potter kind of have like a little scuffle, I guess, kind of thing, and then
you're cucking me. I'm not cucking you. You asked me to cuck you.
And then because he's still all kind of high and stuff, he stumbles and falls out the window.
Yeah.
And so Daventry just runs downstairs and it's like, oh my god, he's panicking, and then Quintus kind of comes outside, just sees him lying on the ground. He's like, how'd you get down there?
Yes.
And he's like, he fell out the window. He's like, how do you do that? It was great.
That was pretty fun. That was
It would be a very hard thing to convince someone of if it legit, like we saw it legit happen, like if you would have died, I don't think anyone would have believed it.
No. Man, imagine that. Imagine if this movie had taken an interesting turn or done something of note. This is based on a play. I don't know if you saw that.
That makes so much sense.
And it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
That it was based on like sub tier like Sam Shepard.
Yeah, no, it's I don't know. It's so weird. I even have a line here. I don't even know what it refers to. That he's like, Davenport, just like, you did it on purpose. Oh, maybe he says he tried to fall out of the window on purpose, and then he calls him a freak and leaves. And it was like, oh, that's.
So now at this point, she shows up. The woman.
That's right.
Did I give this woman her name? I can't remember. She is Maureen. She's Georgina, played by Maureen Mueller. Georgina, played by Maureen Mueller. And she's basically just like, can I please just fuck Patrick Dempsey? I really want to fuck Patrick Dempsey. You keep sending him over. And like, I think it's very obvious that they have had sex already. But she's basically just like, just stop with the letters. Just let me live my life kind of thing. And then Patrick Dempsey shows back up. It's just like, I don't want to be with her. It's never said outright, but it's very heavily implied that he's like, I want to be with you, Garnett.
He does, and I think there's a moment when I think Quintus at one point is taking Garnett up to bed, like he's needs help upstairs or whatever, and he says to him that he told him in the fields that he loved Garnett from the moment he first saw him.
Yes.
Which I also laughed at because, well, the first moment he saw him, he screamed in his face.
You screamed at you, knocked him out.
Right. But maybe the next moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what he like just telling people.
No,
so
he knocked him out, and then he was just like, actually, he's pretty hot. That's what I think whenever I knock someone out.
I also do have it. Where are we at the dance hall? I don't even know where we are anymore.
We're at basically nearing the end here, where so now there's a storm.
Right. Because I do have a thing here that says I think they followed him to the dance hall too. Like he
right
because he goes back
because they're kind of like Quintus and Potter are just like, where's he going at night?
Right.
Is he going to go stare at her and masturbate in the bushes again?
Yeah,
oh my god.
Yeah, so they follow him to the dance hall, and Patrick Dempsey comes in there, and they're kind of music's playing or whatever, and then I have in my notes the least sexy dancing between Patrick Dempsey and Michael Biehn I could have ever imagined.
And I had here, it is a gay thing. I didn't expect that.
No, it was interesting, but
I lose track of because nothing happens, and then something happens.
Yes,
and
because
then
there's another weird thing where it's like he falls into the dance hall, and he just picks up a piece of glass and like holds it to his throat,
right?
And it's like, and then that's why they start dancing immediately after. That's why I was like, this is strange.
Yeah, but not strange in a noteworthy way.
No.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, it just happens, and then they're just like, okay, on to the next thing.
Oh, yes, I do have another note here. It says gets him to drop the glass, and he's starting to whisper in his ear, and I was like, now we're getting somewhere.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, storm happens. It like blows the doors open of the dance hall. And is it Davenport that leaves? Or Garnett goes and then Davenport follows him, I think.
Both, yeah.
Both of them? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, they both leave, okay.
They both leave. And then it's basically the next. We don't see much of the storm.
Right. I don't think they had the effects like you said. The budget was gone.
They had effects for lightning in the flash lightning, rumble the thunder. That's about it. And then the next morning, it's revealed that Potter had died.
Yeah.
During the storm. Must have been a hell of a storm. I wish we got to see some of it.
I was like, did this happen lots back in the day? People just died during a storm?
Yeah.
Feels like a lot of people just murdered people during storms and they used it as an excuse.
Why would he murder him? We don't know either. Maybe he wasn't ready to accept that he was definitely going to sleep with Twink Patrick.
Because this is the other thing, too. She apparently found the body, mushed against a tree, and then carried it up her stairs.
Right, yes.
Like dressed him all nice and put him in bed. Yeah. I was like, no one's going to have questions for this lady.
I mean, it was 1918. They probably would never. I mean, he doesn't exist, basically.
Yeah, that's true.
Only these, like, 3 people know he even exists, basically.
That's very true.
So, yeah, she's going to fuck that corpse so much. Yeah, he was squished against a tree, and then he was eventually just pressed into that bed.
Oh, and so I think there was another thing. Again, this is also ridiculous. Like, the lady came back and told the old lady, and she was like, oh, by the way, yeah, you were foreclosing on your house or whatever. Paperwork's gone through. Nothing I can do to stop it. And he's kind of like, I'm a war veteran.
Yes. They treat war veterans so terrible
and then
in this movie.
And then so he was like mid moving out, or Quintus was like mid moving him out of the house.
Yeah.
Then this storm comes through. So he comes back in the morning. Quintus is like, dude, all your shit got ruined because it was outside. I'm so sorry. And then I think the only good news is like someone from the town thing is like, hey, good news. You don't have to leave. And it's
we contacted like a neighboring veterans association. I guess we'll let you stay.
Yeah, house is saved, and I don't know. It ends.
It ends at the dance hall.
The dance hall, yeah.
Where Garnett and Maureen, or Georgina, get together and dance.
They have a last dance.
They have a last dance, or a first dance in a new relationship.
Right.
Bonded over their both desperately wanting to fuck Patrick Dempsey.
Listen, if they just spend the rest of their lives getting off thinking about Patrick Dempsey,
they wouldn't be the first.
That's a good relationship in my mind.
Yeah. In a shallow grave. I want to apologize for anyone who thinks this one is a little lackluster. It was for us too. I thought it was going to be if this was a thriller, this would have been great.
Yeah, the title, weird choice for a title. I don't even know what it's referencing. Like, I guess you just said at the end, no one really knows him.
I think that it's more of implying that Garnet sees himself as dead.
As dead already? That makes sense.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Wish that was in the movie. But yeah, there's so many things that could have made this movie really stand out. I think that it could be remade or reimagined as a thriller, as a magical realism tale, as a horror movie of some sort, where the victim is a burned war veteran. That's
full on gay love story. That's all I wanted in this thing.
Yeah. But that's the episode, folks. I know that I think we're running a little shorter than usual, but
yeah. I mean, I knew as soon as I saw this, I was like, there's not going to be a lot to talk. There's a lot of dialogue. I mean, unless you want us to recite the whole thing, that's basically all we can do.
Insert just like a montage of Patrick Dempsey from Grey's Anatomy here to fill out the end of the video episode. But in lieu of that, we want to thank everyone for listening. If you guys enjoyed the podcast, make sure you share it around, let people know. You can follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, on what else we got, Facebook
Threads.
And stuff, Threads at Absolutely Obscure Pod. You can also email us at absoluteobscurepodcast@gmail.com. We read out anything that we receive, including we're gonna have some notes from directors I've heard from, not from episodes we've covered, but from episodes we can't cover soon enough.
Also, if you want to follow us individually too, you can follow us at The True Rory and Real Funny Josh.
And thank you to our producer, Aaron Campbell. Boom, 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 boom. Sexiest man in comedy. Thank you to Matt Prince for our theme music.
Thank you so much.
And thank you guys so much for listening. Hopefully the next movie's better. Thanks, guys. Bye.